The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, their guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirely without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group, copyright 2025. All rights are reserved.
The march to freedom is long, and it must continue to evolve.
Led by God and grounded in Scripture.
March to freedom must be righteous, with a focus on accountability and sustainability to ensure that we leave no man behind.
Have the courage to do the right thing and get yourself a red Bible.
As we unleash the minds, you can be confident that the revolution is alive, and we will continue to document it.
This is Freedom March.
This is Freedom March. Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Freedom March. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on channel 103.5, The Beat FM. Channel 224, that's on cable. Channel 112, that's on Flow. And of course on ILTV Studios on Facebook, where by now you should be following us, right? I'm told that there are some people that still don't know how to do the following on Facebook. I didn't know that was a thing. So let me walk you through it, right? If you're listening to me on a radio or watching me on a television screen, go to Facebook. You know the same little blue app that you go to Hakiki? Right, click that. After you click the little blue Hakiki app, go into the top part where it says search. Type in I for India, L for Lima, T for Tango, V with V for Victor Studios. When you click that, or when you press search, you should see a tab pop up that says ILTV Studios. Right beside that, you should see something that says follow. Are you still with me? Fantastic. Click that. And from here on in, every time I cut that camera there on, you should see a little red thing pop up that lets you know that Freedom March is on and that we're live and that you can be a part of us or with us over here on Freedom March. Okay? So I don't think I could break it down any more than that. Anyway, Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. Bradley, welcome back to Freedom March.
Thank you so much. Good to be here, Levi.
Busy day on the outside?
Yeah, I've been very busy as a matter of fact. It's kind of shocking that, yeah. Traffic is back.
Traffic is back.
3 o'clock rush is there still. But still had a relatively good day today. No doubt. Indeed.
Yeah. Well, today has been a busy day in the news cycle, right? I before it becomes sub judice, I intend to offer my thoughts. Firstly, my regards for the family of the fallen law enforcement officer, prison guard.
B-Docs, yeah.
I see some things circulating in social media, and all I want to say again, there is a thing that is a doctrine that has been accepted and practiced that's called the use of force continuum. There is also something called the Constitution of the Bahamas that lets you know exactly when it is appropriate to use lethal force. As long as you align yourself with that prescription, there is nothing to fear, my friend. And once lethal force is presented, law enforcement officers and peacekeepers have a fiduciary responsibility to respond with force in kind. Don't move. Freedom March will be back.
Fill up box for all $30.
The new KFC Fill-Up Box, serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets, all packed into one crave-worthy box. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC Fill-Up Box. Only at KFC, it's finger licking good.
This is Freedom March. Hello, thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. We're on 103.5 The Beat FM. Bradley Rowe, spiritual advisor, extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. And if Bradley Rowe is here, then that means, Bradley, we have Holy Scripture.
We got some scriptures.
Well, tell us
today.
what you have today for us from the Holy Scripture, Bradley.
We're going to go to the book of Ephesians. And mind you,
It's amazing. When I hear book of Ephesians, you know, the first text that comes to my mind, Ephesians 6:4. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother.
Ephesians 6.
Is that Ephesians? That's Ephesians 6.
Yeah, it's Ephesians 6. I'm wondering if it's you okay?
Yeah, Ephesians
Is it verse?
6:4?
Yeah. I'm wondering.
It's amazing.
It
how
is
just-
Ephesians chapter 6, mind
It's
you.
amazing how that is just stuck in my head. It's
Yeah.
Ephesians 6:4. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother, which is the first commandment
With a promise, that your days may be long.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna, no doubt, the book of Ephesians was written to non-Jewish people. They were Gentiles.
Is that to the church of Ephesus?
Yeah, in Ephesus, yeah. So when you go to the book of Acts, you will see where that church actually began. And that's what a lot of folks don't recognize. It's amazing how the book of Acts is strategically placed between the Gospels and the epistles. Because when you go into the book of Acts, which is the actions of the apostles, you will see just how the churches were established by the preaching of the apostles. All right, so in chapter 2, we're going to look at the Apostle Paul speaking to the Gentiles and get them to understand how they were united in Christ. And in starting verse 11, he says, "Therefore remember that at one time you Gentiles in the flesh call the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision, which is made in the flesh by hand." So circumcision under the Jewish system was a removal of the foreskin of the penis on the 8th day of the male. So every male that was born into the Jewish family on the 8th day, he was circumcised. That was a law. And if you weren't circumcised, they would actually excommunicate you. You're cut off from the people. He says, which is made in the flesh by hands. That's physical circumcision. Remember that you were at that time separated from Christ. Gentiles, you were separated from Christ, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers to the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. Go ahead, producer. But now, anytime you see this but, some things can change. But now, in Christ Jesus, you who once were far off have been brought near. How? By the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made us both one. Who's the us? Jews and Gentiles. And has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility. Watch this. By abolishing the law. For those who don't believe me, Jesus Christ abolished the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that he may create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace, and might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby killing the hostility. In verse number 15, it specifically says, Paul says to the Gentiles, that Jesus Christ abolished the law. The whole Jewish system was reduced to inactivity through the blood and the cross of Christ. Ask ChatGPT what does the word abolish mean.
Abolish.
I think abolish means to bring that in. That could be one of the meanings. So, for those of you who don't understand that the Jewish law, the Jewish system, Judaism, was not an international religion.
It means that it sets an official ending date.
Right. It's ended.
For something to be eliminated.
You see that? Put it back up, producer. You see that? The Jewish system, the law. Jesus Christ abolished the law. Some translation says, by abolish the law with its commandments and regulations. What's an ordinance? What's the Greek word there for ordinance in Colossians, in Ephesians 2, in 15? Because we have some people who try to get tactical by telling you that this law that Jesus Christ abolished is a ceremonial law, but there's nothing in this passage that says ceremony. All right?
In Ephesians 6 and 2?
Sorry, Ephesians 2 and verse number 15. What's this word ordinance? What's an ordinance? All right? This passage right here specifically says that Jesus Christ abolished the law of commandments. What is the law of commandments?
The Greek word is dogma. The Greek word is a bunch of symbols that I can't pronounce, but
what does it mean? What is an ordinance?
Yeah, so it says in Ephesians 2 and 15, the word translated as ordinance in some English versions comes from the Greek word scribble, open brackets, dogma, close brackets.
Which is?
Meaning and usage. Scribble, 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 scribble refers to a decree, a regulation, or an authoritative command.
There you go.
In the context of Ephesians 2 and 15, it relates to the legal commandments or regulations of the Mosaic law that Christ abolished through his death.
Right. And this is very specific. And there are other passages that specifically says what Jesus did was he took it away. He took away the whole Jewish system and established a new one that Christians who are both Jews and Gentiles live by. When Jesus Christ came, he was born under the Jewish Mosaic system. That Jewish Mosaic system was not for the entire world. No one could convince anyone that the Old Testament laws given by Moses, who brought them down from Sinai, they were not given to the whole world. They were only given specifically to the Israelites. But here in Ephesians 2, the Apostle Paul tells you how both Jews and Gentiles were reconciled through the cross by the blood of Christ. And what Jesus Christ did was he brought both nations together, Jews and Gentiles. He brought them together, forming one new people, both to God in one body.
So you're saying that the law wasn't abolished in Christ's life, it was only abolished
at his death. Right. That's why you see when Jesus Christ was on the face of the earth and he began his kingdom ministry, he often referred to the law.
Right. He also broke the law.
Well, we can see where I wouldn't say, if you say he broke the law, that means he sinned.
Right.
Because when you broke the law, you transgressed it.
Right.
But Jesus did not sin. We see what Jesus did was he was introducing a new system by referring back to the old system. You've once heard it said of old, thou should not kill.
Right.
But I say to you, so we see him introducing, but this new system did not come in effect until after his death, burial, and resurrection.
So where did Jesus get this immunity from?
He was the law.
But if the law wasn't abolished until his death, then how was he operating in the immunity during his life?
Because he still operated according to the law. As a matter of fact,
we proved that he didn't operate.
Yes, he did. Yeah, of course he did.
When he healed the man at the pool of Bethesda, that was against the law.
Well,
when he healed the man with the lame hand, that was against the law.
No. That was against what the Jewish, their restrictions that was placed.
The law. All the laws were the Jews' law. Gentiles had no law. Is that what the Bible says? The Gentiles
they didn't have no law. No.
Right. So
they became
all
a
the
law
laws
to
were the
themselves.
Jews. Right. The Gentiles are a law unto themselves.
Right.
So we can't be talking about the Gentile law.
But Jesus, of course, who is the lawgiver, all right? He was the man who actually gave the law to Moses to give it to the nation of Israel. So we have Jesus Christ, who is the end of the law, coming down from heaven in human flesh, and then introducing a new system slowly as he did his ministry for 3 years. But Jesus Christ still kept those laws. As a matter of fact, Jesus Christ was circumcised on the 8th day.
Right. So this is my point.
So he lived under the
Jesus
system.
wasn't living in obscurity, Bradley, right? Jesus was quite prevalent and pervasive and known, and you understand what I'm saying? Everyone knew who he was. But if you're saying to me now that I'm thinking about this, if you're saying to me now that the fulfillment of the law was not in the birth of Jesus, which was also prophesied, right? That a savior would be born, right? Then that means that every one of those laws that Jesus broke up to the time of his death, he broke Jewish law.
No, Jesus did not break any law.
So, then tell me,
if you say he broke a law,
so how wasn't the law fulfilled at his birth? It was only fulfilled at his death. Yet he went ultra virus to the law, and you consider him not breaking the law.
He did not. What Jesus Christ did was he just showed the Jews a new and a better way to do things.
Correct.
When it came to the Sabbath,
come through salvation, which is a result of the death of Jesus.
Right.
Then where did Jesus get this immunity from prior to his death?
Because he was God.
He was also flesh.
Yeah, but he was also God.
But he was also flesh.
Yeah.
And so just as he was God, there is no fleshly thing that he had no desire for, because he was God dwelling in a flesh.
Yeah. And but Jesus Christ did, see now, remember now, when it comes to understanding what sin is, The Bible describes sin as being
Out of the will of God.
a transgression
Against
of
the will of God.
God's law, right?
Correct. Now-
so to say that Jesus Christ actually broke a law is to say that he sinned.
Yeah, but
and
that
we know
is
the
what
Bible
sin
says he
is.
knew no
That is
sin.
what sin is now post Jesus.
It was
Prior
always
to
that. It was always that.
No, Brad.
It was always that.
Remember, okay, so then what was the reason for the synagogue and the sacrifice? The reason for the synagogue and the sacrifice was when you broke one of these law, you carry one dove that you find, and you go and you
make
offer
an atonement,
sacrifice
right.
to atone. Correct.
But nobody had to make any atonement for Jesus.
And all I'm asking is where did
Because
he
he
get
was
this
sin.
immunity from?
Because he was-
If the fulfillment of the law comes as a result of the death of Jesus. Now, if you said to me that Jesus is being born fulfilled the prophecy, which then gave a pardon for sin, I could say, okay, well, Jesus was operating in a new order. But if the new order only begins at his death, then Jesus was breaking Jewish law.
No, he wasn't. You can't find any scripture that says he broke it. What he did
What
do.
you mean I can't find the
No.
scripture? The people say, who healed this man on the Sabbath? Know he not that it is against the law to heal this man on the Sabbath?
Now, find that in the law.
What?
Where it was against the law to heal. Where can you find that?
What you mean, where can I find it?
That was a law that they add these things onto the law. You cannot find any law in the Old Testament that says it was.
Thou shalt not heal.
Right.
But was it considered work? Because
Well, now you're getting somewhat technical to it, yeah.
But the doctor does heal people.
See, but what Jesus Christ was trying to show them, listen, we're looking at grace and justice and mercy.
he also justified his behavior. He also said, if you have a sheep that is lost and you have 99 that ain't lost.
Yeah.
That don't sound like a fellow
Yeah.
who was pleading this case. All I'm saying is, I think this is worth the study, Bradley. Where did Jesus get his immunity from? If immunity from the law comes through the death of Jesus, then that means the fulfillment of the prophecy of his coming has no value. It has no consequence in Christendom.
Okay, so Jesus Christ came. The Bible says when the fullness of time had come.
Mm-hmm.
What's it mean by the fullness of time? Obviously, there was some prophecy concerning the coming of the Messiah.
Yes, and his birth fulfilled that.
Right, so when the fullness of time had come, the scripture says that God sent forth his son, born
Born of a virgin.
of a woman, made under the law. So if Jesus Christ was born under the law, it means that the law had authority over him. That's
Right, he was subject to the law. Correct. So if he was subject to the law,
he kept those. Jesus Christ kept the Sabbath, you know. You recognize that?
I don't disagree with you.
Right, he kept all the laws.
But I'm saying to you, in the instances where the Sanhedrin or the Pharisees or whomever had said that Jesus had broke the law, and Ephesians 6:4 is, fathers, provoke not their children to wrath. That's what 6:4 is. 6:1 is, children, obey your parents in the Lord.
I was wondering about that. That's why I wanted to go back to the Red Bible and check it. Because I know it couldn't be Ephesians 6:4.
6:4 is, fathers, provoke not your children
and
to wrath.
don't exasperate them, yeah. But 6:1.
Now, if Jesus was born under the law, the only way that he could do some of the things that he did during the Sabbath was if he had an exemption from the law. And he had no such exemption because exemption from the law comes as a direct result of the death of Jesus, not of the birth of Jesus. So where did Jesus get his immunity
Well,
from?
Jesus got his immunity because he was the law giver himself.
Bradley,
You recognize that?
he was born under the law. That's what
Right.
you just said.
But you
So
know
he
what?
was
So leave
born
on. So you
under the
tell
law.
me Jesus sinned?
I say that.
Yeah, you're saying that.
No, Bradley. What I've always
Okay, so
said.
did Jesus heal on the Sabbath?
Yes.
Was he wrong for doing that?
Yes. Now,
So he break the law.
no. Now, here is the argument. The argument is, had anybody else done this, it would be a sin. It was only not a sin because it was Jesus.
Which makes
Now,
it wrong,
the
right?
question
Which makes it
becomes-
wrong.
No, it would mean that he was activating or operating in some form of an immunity. For instance, it is unlawful to carry
your
marijuana in the Bahamas, except you act on the authority of the Minister of Health, who could let you have a container full of it. Because under his authority, you now become immune to this law. You following me? And all I'm asking, I think this is worth the study, is where did Jesus get this immunity from? Because although he was God, he was still subject to flesh. That's why he couldn't throw himself off the cliff.
Yeah.
The angels wouldn't have protected him from that.
Jesus was the law, my brother.
What?
He was the law.
How?
He created all the laws. He gave all the laws.
No, Bradley.
No laws could have been
Because
established
after
except through him.
Jesus, hold on, Bradley. After Jesus, there only exists 2 laws.
My brother, I don't know what you're trying to do,
after
right?
Jesus,
But-
there only exist 2 laws. Though all of those laws are swallowed up into 2 laws. What are the 2 laws?
No.
What you mean?
There are more,
Yes.
there are more than 2 laws after Jesus, man.
There are only 2 laws: that you love the Lord your God
No,
with all your heart.
no.
That's the that is
Listen,
the
listen.
commandment.
No.
Oh boy.
There are 630 laws. The question that was asked Jesus
Was
is
it
this.
630?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
What they asked Jesus was, what is the greatest commandment in the law? Not that there are only 2 laws, but what is the greatest commandment in the law of Moses? Now we need to find out how many laws existed in the law of Moses.
But hold on. But the
What is the greatest commandment in the law? What law are they talking about? They asked Jesus, what is the greatest commandment in the law? What law?
I imagine it was Jewish law. There was no other law.
Right. And so what Jesus did was Jesus quoted 2 laws.
Which were?
Where are those laws found? Because they're not in the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Right. So it means they're part of the whole of the
And
Mosaic
what did
system.
Jesus command? That you love the Lord thy God with all your heart.
No. Jesus quoted what was in the law.
In which law? In the Bible?
The Mosaic law. Yeah, those laws there. I can show you them. They are right there.
Please show me the
Yeah,
638 laws.
They're there.
I'm saying
630.
that the laws of Moses were swallowed up into the 2 commandments given by Jesus.
No.
The Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and that you love your neighbor or show love to your neighbors one for another. Anyway, no more Freedom March. We'll be right back.
This is Freedom March.
This is Freedom March. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us through that break. I'm Leland Miller. Bradley Rule, the spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. And Bradley, there is a whole lot happening in the country.
Well, yeah, quite a bit. The country is stirring and buzzing.
Do
Violence.
you know, I say this about, firstly, let me also say a special shout out to my friends over at Island Connect. Today is Wednesday. And I was over there today, Bradley, and as always, Island Connect continues.
They fix you up.
They continue to do the things that they do. 85% of it is you know, what I get from Joyce them. But the last 15%, Island Connect really ties it together very well.
Who's Joyce?
That's my Grammy.
Oh.
Bradley, as much time as I say it's Joyce Grammy.
Yeah, I hear you
Joyce
say,
was.
I hear you keep talking with Joyce. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dearly beloved grandmother Joyce.
Whose side? Which side?
That's my daddy.
Okay.
And my other Grammy, who is not a saint.
She
was an Anglican.
What about your mother's mother?
She named Florence.
Is she alive?
No, both of them are deceased.
Oh.
That's why I tell people that you have to be very cautious what you say to me, because I'm running out of people that are exempted from getting case out from me. Because all the people that I wouldn't case in life are dead.
No, your mother's
Well, my mother's still alive. That's what I said. The list's getting short. So you have to be very cautious what you say to me.
Your father's still alive?
My
too?
daddy's also dead.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's alive?
Both of my, but my mother's father is dead. My father's father is 100. That's the one I'm named after.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
celebrated his birthday the other day.
Yeah, he's 100 years old. And Philip
Wow.
Davis was there to hail him, the Honorable. Cynthia Pratt was there to hail him, the excellent. Who else was there to hail him? A couple of excellent and honorable people was there. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Bradley, I want to say this, right? The thing I am beginning to enjoy about the Progressive Liberal Party is, although I don't think they listen to anything that I say that makes sense, can I tell you that I found that the best way to deal with the PLP for me is to not tell them what I think, but to just think it. Because they are obviously connected to me in the spirit, Bradley.
How so?
So I, last evening, was accosted by a conclave of Junkanooers who, after deep deliberation, came to one conclusion that no matter what happened, we needed to have Junkanoo on Bay this year.
Okay.
Many of them have said to me that they do not support the goings-on of the JCNP. They do not support the behavior. They do not support many of the actions. But they support them nonetheless because they know Junkanoo. And Junkanooers should be able or should be allowed to manage Junkanoo. Many of them have said, in the conclave that I sat through last evening, right? In some instances under duress, have said that, they're not exactly sure that they enjoy the happenings of the Valley Boys. They do not believe that the Valley Boys was as astutely managed as it could have been. And that is the reason why you have the grievances. They also said that they agree with me that no person or family or group owns Junkanoo. It collectively belongs to the Bahamian people. Now, I get it. You beat a bass drum against your kidney until blood come out when you pee. Well, a grateful nation thanks you. But your beat up kidney don't make you more a stakeholder in Junkanoo than I am, who probably never been on Bay Street. When asked the question in a random pool, am I a Saxon or a Valley Boy? I don't care if I never watch a stitch of Junkanoo or glue one ostrich feather. What I know is that I'm a Valley Boy. And you beating blood out your kidney don't make you more of a Valley Boy than me.
Yeah, okay.
And so I said to them, well, gentlemen, we must send for a great negotiator. I had actually told them to call Bishop Ellis. That's what I just told them this last night. I said, the way things look, my brother, the only person that could save Brave out of this is if he called the bishop. Because, Bishop Ellis has been known for, helping smoothing out negotiations in the past, the VCPOU, you know what I mean? And so I said, I don't understand how would we be November 1st, November 2nd, November 5th, and the Junkanoo community is still just having one big, can I call it a pissing competition? Is it okay to call it a pissing competition?
No, just say competition.
Okay. Well, they want to see who could be the fighters.
Oh, man.
to see who could be the furthest up the road. And to be quite honest, the JCNP has younger men, so I suspect they might be the ones that would win. What I am saying, though, is would a win for the JCNP translate into a win, or would it be something that simply makes some people feel good about winning to prove their ego and their machismo isn't bruised? Similarly, would a win for the NJC be the same thing? My goal isn't how do we decide which group is more righteous than the other and should lead or have management control, or ultimately who has more power than the other. Because like I suggested to them last evening, it is almost like Jesus said, all power is given unto me. And where does that power come from? A higher source, yes?
Okay.
So the JCNP or the NJC or anybody CP can't have no power except they get it from where?
The government.
The government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There is no other authority in this country. Power comes from nowhere else. So if you are in charge of a body or an organization or a group or anything, beloved, if you wrapping the tree them in satin, the government needs to give you the power to do that. Hey?
Okay.
And so all I'm saying is, let's not get into the conversation about power, because you can't win a power conversation against the government. Why? Because all power
Yeah, they're the authority.
belongs to the government. It's as simple as that. No matter how you feel about them, no matter what you think, they can be lost as a bat in an open field. All power is handed down from the seat of power. And where's that? The Parliament of the Bahamas.
Okay.
Okay. And so, I had concluded that they needed to call a great negotiator. Somebody who was not vested, somebody who had no real buy-in, but somebody who was a national figure great enough to command the room. And I also told them last night, and make sure you all have it by the church, because just in case John Lewis decide they want to cuss and carry on, the one thing I like about Bahamians is no amount of rabble-rousing will ever convince them that they won't break up the church unless you stick them through the corner who keep tripping the boy down off the pulpit a couple of years back, right?
So where are we with Drunken now? What's the
understand.
story?
I understand that they didn't go and get Bishop Ellis, which would be my pick, but man, they get the next best thing, Bradley.
Who's that?
And praise the Lord, it looks, from all indications, as of today, because, John Gnu is a very mercurial, and tomorrow morning, someone might decide that they want to use red grade paper, and all of a sudden, John Gnu suspended again. So let's go to the clip with Sir Franklin, who apparently has quelled the John Gnu debacle, and according to this very moment, it looks as though everything in the John Gnu community is smoothing out, Bradley.
So we are gathered here today, assembled, myself, JCNP Chairman Dion Miller, my colleague Andrew Pinder, Chairman of the NJC with Sir Franklin Wilson, and we are here moving forward in a unified manner in the best national interests of John Gnu to come together and ensure that this season is a wonderful season for all of our participants and for the Bahamian public. And so we're excited to be at this point and to move forward together hand in hand to make John Gnu one and whole for all.
Here to say that we want to move forward in national unity to make this year's parade the best ever.
Okay.
And so
now we got the parade now.
And so,
So
if Bishop,
everybody be participating.
you want to hear they say this could be a combined parade. So you having parade Monday, doing parade in our road, where you could have your parade, but where you could have it because the government owned the street, and which police you could use because the government owned the...
So we're back to where we should be.
The only reason why I'm mad they used Sir Franklin, you can't believe it.
You got the money.
I didn't want nobody to say it was about money. If they did use Bishop Ellis, we could have said, go and fix it.
What do you think it's all about?
Listen to me, Bradley. If Bishop Ellis had done the negotiated, we could have said, come now and see the hand of the Lord, eh? And that would have been perfect. And no one would have suspect that money was involved.
Yeah, man. Money talks, my brother.
But
everybody else's war.
But they didn't use the bishop, right? Which is to my chagrin. Because I wanted to use the bishop. I thought he would be the best person to negotiate this, right? And then I would say, man, look at how Jesus just fixed this for us. Because I like when Jesus fixed things, Bradley. You don't like when Jesus fixed things?
Well, he can be doing it through other mediums, so.
Yeah. Well,
that's what it is.
Sir Franklin ain't a medium. Sir Franklin is a large. You know that?
Okay.
Yeah. and so obviously the Progressive Liberal Party pulled out the biggest gun they could find.
Yep.
And just like that.
Everything fixed.
Like magic. I mean, all Sir Franklin did, these fellas been wanting to kill one another from January, you know. Sir Franklin come out, he waved the magic wand, and he said the magic words. I love peanut butter sandwiches, presto, and dun, 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 no one in Junkanoo mad no more.
Yeah, so that was quite noble.
My question is, where does leave the Valley Boys? Because I imagine that that's still a very real question.
They're in there.
Where?
They're not in there?
I just saw circulating today that a group identifying as the Valley Boys has said that there are legal consequences for using their banner and their logo and their blah, 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 blah.
Where does it lead the Valley Boys or the Way Forward? Which one is it?
Well, I know, because the Way Forward says only one valley.
But didn't...
And they ain't in the shadow of death, my brother. I tell you that right now. But I'm very happy to see that even in the twilight of his years, Sir Franklin still seems to be a very useful accoutrement.
I'm sure Bahamians
in the toolbox of the Progressive Liberal Party.
Yeah, so I'm sure Bahamians are really pleased and happy.
It is a wonderful announcement,
that they have
Bradley.
reached this milestone.
It is a wonderful announcement, Bradley.
Yeah, yeah.
And to the people that I had the conclave with last evening with regards to what we would do about Junkanoo, you see this? I tell you, all you need, here's what you need, Bradley. You need a name big enough that when they pick up the phone and call, Junkanooers will show up. Then you need to take them to a place where they can't break up. I say, go to the church, because no one will break up the church. And then you go in there and you make everybody hug. And when everybody finished the first 2 minutes of hugging, you say, now listen, gentlemen, it's November 5th. And unless you all start gluing these costumes now, they ain't gonna be dry for Boxing Day.
At this stage again, it may be late. This November, man.
Take a used glue gun, don't worry about that. The glue gun is dry fast.
Okay.
And all I'm saying is, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for the government to re-scrub the whole thing. I will also say that Junkanooers in the conclave that I attended last evening have also advised me that they would be happy to discuss this in February of 2026. Their whole point was, you shouldn't let this drag into October 25 because you know pay coming. And so for the sake of nationhood, the government should have folded its hands like they were doing a good game of poker, and let's just get the show on the road. And then the government can come out in January and say, now let me tell you what's happened. I'm still the government. And here's my hand. And then we could start the negotiations from there. But I think it is a great day for Junkanoo.
Let's hope it holds.
But man, they called Sir Franklin. What you mean?
Let's hope it holds. These peace deals or peace talks. Let's see what happens, eh?
You think they could find a bigger gun than Sir Franklin?
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if it holds.
You think so?
Let's see.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Indeed.
Other than that, other than Junkanoo, because Junkanoo is huge news, I see Dr. Menace is saying he didn't care what happened. JCN, NJC, GC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, the Saxons.
I am a Saxon. I go to practice. I went to the Junkanoo Shack yesterday, got my crown measured for my hat, and regardless to what happens, I will be rushing. And I think I'll be rushing for the Saxons. I am a member of the Saxons, and whatever parade, I'm sure they'd resolve that issue, but wherever the Saxon go, I as a Bella and a member will go with my group.
Alrighty.
But I would hope that calmer heads would prevail and this matter is resolved for the good of the nation and the good of the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna say NJC, JCNP, ABC, 1, 2, 3, the Saxons.
Yeah, that's his group. He's a part of the group.
Yeah? Sir Franklin, Sir Wilson, Sir Lancelot, the Saxons. Whether one day, even in May, the Saxons. Don't ask him nothing about how to fix it. Don't ask him nothing about whether or not he think it was a good. Hey. Just ask him.
Yeah, wherever the group goes, he going.
Yeah. He don't care if they have a parade in Andres.
Yeah,
Just ask him.
that's where he going, yeah.
Yeah.
But you blame him? That's his group. He's loyal to his group. I mean, that's fine.
And then they say, and I just been yesterday. What you
Yeah,
mean? I
that's
just
fine.
been yesterday. Yeah, so that was that was fantastic to see. So I'm very happy, Bradley, for the sake of the nation, which is the thing that I agree with Dr. Minnis on.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Bradley, let me tell you what I want Junkanooers to understand. Zoom the camera, what does look at me on me,
Right, yeah.
so I could talk to the people in Junkanoo. Listen to me, beloved. I get it. You didn't lose your wife for Junkanoo, but let's face it, you probably wanted one new wife anyhow, right? Your children, they don't really talk to you, but you know, children are really and truly only little adults, and at some point they're gonna become people that, you know, you don't even really know, because they will be doing things and going places that you never taught them. So technically, they would be strangers, and you shouldn't really be talking to strangers. So, man, go away with them children. Don't worry about them. They will eventually, only thing they care about anyhow is when you die, so they can collect the insurance money and do all the things with your money that you would have never done. You may say that you lose, I don't know, a little bit of your health or something to Junkanoo, and that's unfortunate. Get yourself a decent enrollment in the NHI program, and let's see if Christy Butler them could at least tell you what they think wrong with you. But notwithstanding all of that, my friend, the wife that you no longer love and that left, the children that will eventually become strangers that you no longer could identify, you shouldn't talk to strangers, and the kidney problem that you may have developed. Notwithstanding all of that, Junkanoo doesn't belong to any individual, regrettably. And I don't care how much P you all have. I'm saying JCNP, NJC, DDT. Junkanoo belongs collectively to all Bahamians. So whether you build the biggest lead costume ever lead in the whole history of Junkanoo, or whether your daddy was a crazy man who never even let you go nowhere near Bay Street, and the first time you go on Bay Street, you was 26 years old, and that's how you know where the Junkanoodles be, because you say, oh wow, Bay Street, I didn't even know this where it was. You are still equal stakeholders in Junkanoo. So we can't do things like weaponize Junkanoo in a way that affects the Bahamian people. You could have solidarity against the government. You could stand united against the government. But this bunch of we boycotting this thing, we boycotting that thing, ain't no group could have Junkanoo practice, and beloved, you don't own the Junkanoo. So what Lil Pookie, right? He got one pair of soft hands. Pookie don't have no money. Pookie have one event every week. He's scary soft hands too. Junkanoo practice. All he need out there is $21. That's enough to buy 2 Heineken for soft hands, 1 collect for himself, a Black and Mild for him, and $5 worth of wings for soft hands. And when you take that from Pookie, what else you want Pookie to do? Now, the big stinking Momenzo in the big truck is gonna swoop in and possibly woo Pookie pair of soft hands away from him. And now Pookie whole life in turmoil, because the one thing that was keeping him on his axis is gone. And now we have a deranged Pookie to deal with, all because you decide, if you have Junkanoo practice, you ain't a part of the group. What? I get it. Politicians shouldn't be dabbling in the affairs of Junkanoo. But remember, my friends, all power is given unto you by the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There is no power that exists separate and apart from that. So when the government make you mad, you all go stand up by the Prime Minister's office and case him, tell you all choke. I ain't care. But Thursday night, have some practice. When the government make you all mad, I throw peanut at them. I don't care. But Sunday night have practice. When they have Emancipation Day, you should be so happy to don't be a slave no more. That even if all you do is go there and beat the drum, you just gone. Because Junkanoo is all ours. And there is no man more righteous than the other in this fight, is my view. And so I say, let the show go on. I say a wonderful thank you to Sir Franklin. And I couldn't think about a better mediator, except they had gone and get the trusted hands. One, Bishop Neil Clarence.
This is serious though, man. Why him?
Sir Frank? Mm-hmm. You know a gun bigger than Frank? You need a big gun. First of all, Junkanooers have an airy sense of arrogance about their craft. So, Bradley, you can't get Junkanooers in no room. I can't get Junkanooers in no room. You need someone who, when they pick up the phone and make the call, Junkanooers actually coming. Well, we know that can't be the minister no more, because I hear they don't want to talk to him, even if it's between a can, two can connected by a cable, they don't want to talk to him. That's what I hear.
No.
So he can't be him. Can't be the prime minister. But because the prime minister acting like this issue is hot egg. You ever see him every time they ask him, he said, Junkanoo. He can't even talk.
He doesn't want to be a...
Yeah, he didn't want to touch it. He said, I don't want to touch it.
So, but why did the government mess with this in the first place?
Because at some point, the JCNP should have evolved, and I don't think they did. I think the JCNP, I don't know why they keep calling them the N. The JCNP, I think, was a phenomenal idea that just never evolved. And I know they're gonna say the same thing. And the people in the Junkanoo Conclave I sat in last night said, oh, well, it was only for New Providence. Nothing national could only be for New Providence. That don't make sense. How could Junkanoo be a national parade, but the governing body that governs the big show only care about New Providence? That sound like sense?
No.
That makes sense.
Maybe only New Providence can really make it look like it's supposed to be.
If you build it, they will come. So decide what it should look like, right? Because you all got power, you all say. And when you decide what it should look like, you go back to the policymakers and say, hey, that $30,000 you give us a year, that's fantastic. Here is what we need now. We want to do Junkanoo and Andros, we need to build a junk. You realize that every single time the Olympics set up, they set up an Olympic city.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to tell me the people who doing the Olympics smarter than us? That's what you saying to me?
They have more money.
Man, you didn't see Sir Franklin in that video, eh? Who have more money than who?
Yeah, but who's spending to... You
never know what corporate governments will do.
For the sake of a
smart people can't keep telling me what the problem is. I have a problem with people who say they smart and can just keep telling me the problem. If you are in fact smart, you have to be able to tell me what the problem is, followed by 1, 3, or 5 alternatives of what is the best solution.
Yeah, but trying to take Junkanoo to the various family islands is a rather expensive task.
Bradley,
the venture is expensive.
So,
you know,
so in a broader economy,
tents,
I just told you that the Olympics has set up a whole city.
Then you got to carry the seating. Then people got to be transported. Then you got to transport the costumes.
So basically, you're saying we need a boat.
You need the vendors to get set up. People got to travel.
No, so if you were a vendor in New Providence this year, when they have the parade in Acklands next year, you just know that either you have to put a little more money in your business or you ain't vending this year. Because Acklands have vendors. You know, I go to Regatta every year. I don't understand what a Bahamian.
And people got to travel to the family.
Bradley, I go to Regatta every year, and every year I on the boat with the grill man. Who care and he grill. Goldie the conch man on the boat the whole conch ride. I don't know when he have time. He and them should soon fall off. But the whole boat ride he making conch salad. And the minute this boat tie up, he drive Ivan off and set up his table right here on the dock. That is because he invests in his business. So when you keep telling me these mamby-pamby excuses about, the people have to go, man, Acklands ain't in space.
But when you do regattas and 150 to 200 people go on the island, maybe 300 people, you can hardly find a place to stay. And that's just a regatta. Junkanoo is much more bigger than
So
that.
build a container city.
Boy.
If you're at home right now, I want you to Google this. See, we live in 2025. You can just Google things. You don't have to be smart, right? Google glamping. The word is Glamping. You trying to tell me the Bahamas government can't pull that off?
Well, if they...
You could build one of them on at least 5 islands before you start running out of money. Their containers, they cost $4,000. They don't cost that much money. Glamping is what I said. Glamping. Because the people keep telling me today I talk fast, and I don't understand what that means.
Junkanoo can only work on certain family islands. Not
That's
all.
why you're in a part of the JCMP.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you probably do very well because that's obviously what they believe. I'm telling you, Bradley, that I believe the failure of the JCMP is they failed to evolve. When Mr. Christie conceptualized the JCMP, it was brilliant. As is the case with BAMSI, brilliant. As is the case with the transition from COB to UB, brilliant. But Christie's brilliance is like a Cessna, right? You can't fly from here to London in it. You following me?
Okay.
That don't mean that having a Cessna ain't a brilliant idea. Just don't try to go to London in it.
Yeah, it's a short-term thing.
So you have to take Christie's idea and you have to upgrade it to a jet. And once you do that, my brother, you would realize the magnificence that is the mind of Perry Gladstone Christie. Don't move. Freedom March will be back.
This is Freedom March.
Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is here with me. Bradley, welcome back to Freedom March.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Yeah, Bradley, the English word is an imbroglio, right? And that is what this Junkanoo thing is. It's a fiasco at this point. The information regarding this Junkanoo thing is as consistent as a period in a woman using morning after pills. Like, there is no regularity here. So now I see that 18 minutes ago, guess where? On Eyewitness's news page, there is now a new communication that contradicts the video.
Ooh.
Yeah. I tell you, there's no consistency.
I'm not
here.
a prophet, eh?
You can't monitor this.
But I did say, let's see if it holds.
Oh boy, put up the oh boy, put up the thing. Let me.
What does it read? What does it say?
It says November the 5th, 2025. Is that today?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Any time stamp on it?
Well,
on
19
the letter.
minutes ago on our page.
Okay.
So it says no joint in caps. So I mean they shouting. It in caps and it bold. No joint agreement with JCNP on parade management. The National Junkanoo Committee wishes to clarify recent reports on social media posts suggesting that an agreement has been reached for the bold joint management of the upcoming National Junkanoo parades by the NJC and the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence. The meeting referred to in those reports was again in bold, a discussion with representatives of the Shell Saxon Superstars, one of the major Junkanoo groups, and not a formal engagement with the JCNP. While Mr. Dion Miller, who is affiliated with the JCNP, was present, the conversation was focused solely on general parade preparations. To be clear, bold, no agreement for joint management between the NJC and the JCNP exists. The 2025-2026 Junkanoo parades will be, bold, managed exclusively by the parade management team appointed by the NJC, operating under the oversight of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. This team is led by Mr. Douglas Hanna, a former Deputy Commissioner of Police, whose reputation of fairness, integrity, and efficiency. Man, I have this grammatical area. You can't say this thing, that thing, and say is. You have to say this thing, that thing, are. Well, but let's keep going. Where was I in this? Who's for fairness, integrity, and efficiency is well established. While the NJC values the contribution and experience of individuals across the Junkanoo community, including those who have previously served with the JCNP, the individuals will participate this year as part of the NJC's official parade management structure, not as representatives of any external body. The NJC remains fully committed to a transparent, timely, and professionally managed parade season, ensuring fairness for all groups and preserving the integrity of Junkanoo.
Okay.
That's a passionate letter. Wow, very passionate. Okay. And so that's all I want to say about that. And so now, Bradley, the word is IMBROGLIO. You can find that from your producer so they can see I'm making these things up. Can you? Because that's what this is turning into, Bradley. Something that is, oh boy, what did I say? It is as consistent as a period in a woman misusing the morning after pill. And I think that we should take a look into that, because if every day the news is going to change about what is going to happen at Junkanoo, as if Junkanoo isn't right there, then I think we're going to have a difficulty. So I say, can I say it now?
Go ahead.
Call Bishop Ellis, man, and let him negotiate it for you all. Please. Not for my sake, for Christ's sake. You know, Bishop Ellis, and God, they know one another very well. So Bishop could get God to help him with this, because this looks like the only thing that's going to solve this is the help of God. And who else to ask? Except for the bishop.
So petition him.
I just did.
Okay.
So I petitioned them to petition him. Y'all, please, man. Not for my sake.
They may not be able to get him.
For Christ's sake.
You probably be able to.
Y'all call the bishop on this one and see if he can help you. Only the bishop can help. Call the bishop and see if the bishop can help you all. Have the meeting by the church. Well, you know he ain't the pastor no more. So call the other bishop. You know who the other bishop is? His brother.
Who's leading
Elton
that?
Ellis.
Oh, okay.
So you call that Bishop Ellis and you say, hey, Bishop Ellis, new Bishop Ellis, man, we need one church. He can say, why? You can say, because we ain't one of these Junkanoo fellas beat up one another. And he say, well, Mount Tabor is a staple in the community. We've always been very active in social community welfare. And we think the Junkanoo is for the greater good. Come use the church. And then you get in the church and then you let Bishop Ellis come and let everybody hold on. And you all for 20 minutes sing, Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya, until you feel the presence show up in the room. And then when you feel the presence, then you all start to think, other than that, these Junkanoo boys can kill one another. Really.
We don't want that.
I mean figuratively, kid.
Okay.
I don't mean.
Okay.
Oh boy. And so yeah, that's where I am on it. Producer, you find my word for me yet? An umbrolio. It is IMBROGLIO. That is what this is turning out to be. Yep. And I don't want people to think I'm making these words up.
How long is it going to take on the pace that we could do some birthdays in the meantime?
Want to do birthdays in the meantime?
And then get back to this word.
Okay.
If you're ready, producers, let me know. Which one do you do first? Okay. So Randall Johnson. Happy birthday to Randall Johnson, celebrating his birthday today from the Solid family, the Foxhill community, and everybody that knows you well. Enjoy your birthday, Randy. Sheena Hall. Happy birthday to Sheena Hall. Birthday greetings coming from my dad, Woodrow. Grammy, Sheila, aunts and uncles, and all the cousins who love her over there in Eleuthera. So happy birthday to Sheena Hall. Pepsi. Happy birthday to Pepsi. All the best to you, coming from all your family and your friends, and especially me, Pepsi. Happy birthday, Pepsi. Pepsi, you keeping it good.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing this, girl, but happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I actually want to, can I jump on that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
And so to Pepsi, you all know her as Pepsi, but she is Miss Priscilla Sawyer.
Okay.
Pepsi. Happy birthday, let me start there. And I think Bradley, she takes the line right out of the I now call it emotionally abusing, what do you call it? Folk play. The boys drink Coke to learn how to smoke, and the girls drink Pepsi to get more sex. But that must be why.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would have been a sin to call Pepsi sexy.
No, man. What you mean? She's sexy as could be.
Happy birthday, Pepsi.
Yes. And so and she got children. Think about this. She have daughters old enough to call or to refer to as sexy, and it not be inappropriate. And somehow she's still sexy. Isn't that amazing?
We love you, Pepsi.
Yeah,
all
I
the
suspect
best.
she's going to be one of those old women who are 88, and when you see her, all you say is, boy, you could see mother used to be trouble back in the day. That's how I feel about her. Yeah, and so I have to say happy birthday, Pepsi, from me, from Bradley, from Freedom March, from Gabby, from Brittany, and from, I guess, the entire, is that Mason Edition community?
Yeah, absolutely.
The entire Mason's Edition community, and all of the people that knows her. She's quite a staple in that community, Bradley.
Definitely, and I know that very well.
A wonderful
Absolutely.
human being. So,
indeed.
if there's anybody that embodies it, Pepsi, drink the Pepsi to do what?
let me stay in my lane before they
To
disfellowship
get
me.
more sexy, Bradley. They can't be mad at us. It's a nursery rhyme.
No, I don't want the church to disfellowship me. They may think I'm,
Oh, you only have no sexy people in the church?
Well, we're not allowed to do that.
Where all the
actually.
small people in the church keep coming from?
Everybody in the church basically big.
Okay, let's go.
Happy birthday, Pepsi. All the best here. You know I love you, Pepsi. Let's see. Who's next? Dame Cynthia Pratt. Oh, okay. Great. You want to do this, Levi?
To Her Excellency,
The Governor General
the Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Most Honorable Order of the Nation, Cynthia Pratt. Is it Alexandria? Yeah, Cynthia Alexandria Pratt. Happy birthday from us over here at Freedom March. And she's affectionately known as Mother. And I appreciate those kinds of things, Bradley, because you know I'm a boy who grew up in the Church of God. And the one thing I tell you that's missing from this society are the mothers. Bradley, when I grew up in the church, listen, the bishop could tell you whatever he feel like, you know. But before you go and make a decision, Bradley, you got to run that by the mothers of the church. And so every time I see Her Excellency and I hear her colloquial appendage of mother, I say to myself that is exactly what I think we need in this moment of symbolism for people to see a real life representation of someone who is mothering. And I think nobody does it as well as Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Order of the Nation,
Indeed.
Cynthia
Mother Pratt.
Mother Pratt. Yeah? Who else do we have?
We also have Esther May Allen.
Esther May Allen.
Esther May Allen. Happy birthday to Shiro. Esther May of Tarpon Bay, Eleuthera. May God bless you always and keep you. Amen. Then we got happy 88th birthday to Angela Cartwright. Happy 88th birthday goes to Angela Cartwright Smith. From all of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, from her daughters, Hilda, Keva, Deborah, Donna, Delary, sons, Brian, Bradford, William, Trevor, Crispin, his wife, Marion, Barry the Pusher, and his wife, Empress Shandika, and her favorite grandson, Anthony Smith, a.k.a. Pusher Jr. All right. Happy 88th birthday to Angela Cartwright. Okay, anniversaries. The Stalwarts. Forgive me. The Stewarts. Where did I get that from? Would like to send happy 51st anniversary shout out to Claudius and Francis Stewart. Also happy 76th birthday shout out to Francis Stewart. Coming from siblings, children, grandchildren, cousins, nieces, nephews, family and friends. They love you. Happy anniversary. The Rhodes. Good evening, sending from abroad. Happy 37th birthday anniversary to Leslie and Jackie Rowe. May you live to enjoy many more anniversaries to come. Also, tonight, Just Mo, every Wednesday, this exclusive karaoke there at the Fire Trail West Plaza. Carry your own key. Are you ready for dollar wings, $3 shots, $5 drinks until 9 p.m.? Then see you tonight. Swag Bar and Restaurant. Time to carry your own key with Just Mo. And of course, sounds by DJ Stutter. Happy hour starts at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But the time is 8 p.m. The happy hour is actually 6 to 9.
Okay.
$5 drinks, dollar wings, and the likes. Okay, that's the Swag Bar, located on Fire Trail West Plaza.
Fire Trail West Plaza.
Great. What else do we have? Yeah.
While I'm at this, let me send a special shout out to my friends over at the Kingsman Collection. You know, I invite you as often as I could, Bradley, to become one of the Kingsmen. So to Nolan and those over there at the Kingsman Collection, hello from Freedom March. I invite everybody that's watching Freedom March. Listen, only 85% of this is LCM, you know. The other 15%, Bradley, is Island Connect on one side and Kingsman Collection on the other side. So that's 7.5% each. So if you see me out and I'm looking quite John Bull, it's because of the people like those. Also, I want to say a special shout out to Commonwealth Bank girls. You know them. I like to say hi to them.
Okay.
They're always so kind to me, Bradley. And then, of course, again to Miss King, who I met earlier this week at the airport. I want to say hello to her again from us at Freedom March. Who else do I want to say hello to, Bradley?
I don't remember. I had some folks to say hello to, but it slipped my mind. So maybe tomorrow
Yeah.
I'll remember.
And so to all the people who think that I should say hello to them, hello to you from Freedom March. And the redhead, I know she's always locked into the show. And so is her wonderful mother, who's such a darling woman. So hello to you all from Freedom March.
Indeed.
Yeah. Did we get my word yet? There it is. What does it say, Bradley?
They tell you how to pronounce it too. Now, from what I can see from here, it's Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing. Yeah, that's exactly what
Doesn't
it
it
is.
sound like what is happening here?
Yeah. Now, I must say this. We have to do this now. You must remember to do this because there are some complaints coming in from our listening audience that you must remember that not everybody is as smart as you are and could use these big words in particular contexts. Okay?
Sure.
So they want you to be minded or be mindful that when you use these big words, to please break it down so that they can understand. And the argument is somewhat fair. The complaint, sorry, it's a fair one. So there you are, folks. He is breaking it down for you. He's a very smart, intelligent young man, and he presents this word today to describe the fiasco going on in the Junkanoo community.
Yeah.
And this word is imbroglio.
Yeah.
Imbroglio.
The G is silent.
Oh, so it's imbroglio.
Yeah, it's like how the G is
Imbroglio.
also silent in what is it, through?
Okay, so it's an extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. Okay.
Yeah. That is where they are, the NJC and the JCNP.
Yeah.
And what do you think they should do?
Do you think they should petition the others?
Who else? Who else would you send?
I don't know why you choose him. I don't know.
Who else? Okay.
I don't know. I just,
That's my one
Maybe-
pick.
Yeah, that's your pick.
Give me
Okay.
your one pick.
Junkanoo.
Mm-hmm.
Perry Christie.
He's a Valley boy. He's tainted.
Okay. You know who they should?
Who?
The Chief Justice.
So Michael?
No.
Ian Winder?
Yeah. They probably need to have a talk with him.
They can say he wait for Davis and go.
Oh, wow. Hubert Ingram.
Hold on now. Isn't Hubert Ingram also?
We don't hear Ingram. We don't hear Ingram.
I only like Ingram advice when he in power. So if the FNM win the by-election,
I'll call you back.
then maybe
5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes.
What? Okay. So anyway, let's go to the clip with the incident at the bar last evening, and then I want to tell you what the Constitution says about when the use of force is justifiable, how the use of force is to be applied, and then I'm going to walk you through what is the doctrine on the use of force continuum, so that all of the people, producer, could know exactly why I do not feel that what I saw so far, from what I can see, is an excessive use of force. I see crazy people saying crazy things. Some woman actually said something about they need to train them better so that they can shoot people in the foot. And this is where you realize that ignorance is not scarce. Because no firearm target has legs. You aware of that?
Okay.
The firearm training silhouette only have a torso. This how come I understand why this whole police officer missed this whole man from 6 feet.
Not 6 feet. He was closer than that.
That's my point. So what was he aiming this weapon at?
Man, but
You all need to send these fellas back to do proficiency tests. So producer, let's do the clip from the fight at the bar last evening, right? For those of you who have sentimental attachments, please be advised that we're playing the video that is circulating in social media with regards to the bar brawl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one, yeah. He did one.
Score squad mates of 23-year-old Ashantino Johnson standing with the Royal Bahamas Police Force demanding justice for the individual responsible for killing their squad mate and injuring 2 others. The heinous act caught on camera at a local bar on Blue Hill Road North. Johnson, who died in hospital, now marks the 71st murder of 2025. Another man was also reportedly grazed by a bullet shot from the service weapon of a sergeant-level officer, Eyewitness News understands. His status remains unknown.
And so, I am not a forensic expert, but I have eyes and I see the tape. There appears to be a knife in the hand. Can we put the video back up and pause it at the parts that I identified? So there appears to be a weapon in the hand of some male that he is swinging violently like Jack the Ripper, right? Which is very difficult to duck because he looks about 6 feet. And so if he is swinging this thing, there it is. Go a little bit more. There it is. So if he is swinging this thing like Jack the Ripper, and it is in fact a blade, that is lethal force. And once lethal force is introduced, which part would you like?
I was distracted. I'm trying to figure out now.
Look at the hand of the person.
Now, what you're saying is law. Are you saying that?
Let's find out what the Constitution says.
See this hand?
Yes. You see it clenched as if there was a knife or a blade in it.
Yeah, that's what was used to stab the young man.
Let it play so that you could see how violently he's swinging that. That is almost unavoidable. If a knife is in his hand, that is called lethal force. See, because people keep thinking lethal force is something so fantastic or so hard to achieve. No, Bradley, if you swing a bat at my head, that is lethal force. I am going to shoot you.
No, look at this though.
Now, here is where I give this officer wrong. I'm closing in on a 6-foot man. I'm not closing in on a 6-foot man. Beloved, you are under arrest. You are not required to say anything. However, whatever you do say will be written in a statement and given as evidence against you in a court of law, is what I would say to him. Please turn around. And I given him these instructions with a loaded weapon pointed directly at the part of the target they teach me to shoot at. And I want him to know that I am arresting you for murder. And Bradley, when he advanced towards me, I am going to engage lethal force. Why? Because lethal force has already been introduced in this situation. If this is the person that introduced the lethal force, I letting him use lethal force twice. So when I introduce lethal force, which now makes the fight fair, if he advances toward me, it is my reasonable assumption that this is the point in the story where I should be in fear for my life. Because, go a little further, you will see that there's already a human being on the ground. Go on.
But the other man has a gun too.
I don't suspect him of being a police, but that also looks like a shotgun of some sort. Go some more. There is a man on the ground here, reeling and grappling for his life. How many more us you think I letting him put on the ground? Where I give Officer Dibbles here a bit of a flack. I'm not closing in on him like that. My gun can shoot from far. I can't miss him. That's 10 feet.
What if he ran?
If he ran, then I would call the police control room.
Yeah, and try to solve.
As a matter of fact, from I decided that I needed lethal force, police control room is on the phone. Because obviously he has the situation contained. And so my automatic response would be, hey, don't move. You are under arrest. You are not required to say anything. However, anything you do say shall be written in a statement and given as evidence. Do you understand that? Then they do something in law enforcement called deputizing. Hey, you in the stupid shape, get the police control room on the phone. And I would have units come, because he ain't going nowhere. We can be right here. Don't move. We'll be back. This is Freedom March.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
This is Freedom March.
Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Leland Miller. Bradley Roll, spiritual advisor extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. Put the video back up so that we could take a look at it. We're coming to the phone lines in about 6 minutes, so cue yourself up. You want to say something?
Yeah, I'm wondering though, with all this stuff going on social media, especially, no doubt this is an investigation now.
Mm-hmm.
What does these videos in social media space do to this investigation? If I'll be okay with commenting on it?
It's not before the face of a court yet, so
Okay.
it's not sub judice yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So which video you want to look at?
This
one
is the
here?
video.
This guy have something in his hand. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And he looks about 6 foot.
Did he stab the person in the back or?
You got wherever a fella that tall stab you from that height, it's probably going to be
damage.
I mean,
There's
catastrophic.
plenty force coming behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so, let's go to the part where it happened. You see this? This is. There is very little way to survive that. That is lethal force. This is what I would
So
give
he-
the officer
he-
wrong for.
yeah, he
So
shouldn't-
he holds the weapon with his one hand. I know he must see Billy Bad gun.
Woo!
It's a bullet, Bradley. This is.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But I'm saying to you, on the ground, this is where I give you. I'm not at this point. I'm simply giving verbal commands. Hey, Pookie, Detective Constable 3806, you are under arrest for murder. You are not required to say anything. Stupid shirt, get control room on the phone. Let them know that Detective Constable 3806 is at this location and is requesting officer or assistance, and it is for murder.
Requesting backup.
Every Black Scorpion unit within 3 miles of that on their way. The whole, because he can't run faster than the bullets, you know that, right?
No.
So what I need to get closer to him for?
But now if you run, you can't shoot him.
I don't intend for him to run, and by the time as he started running, I suspect that with the call I just made to control room, I got 10 units coming in my direction. I don't care if he run no more. I'll tell you one thing, the little stick god he sprayed to in the closet wouldn't tell him to advance on me.
But even if he advances, does he have a weapon on him?
You mean the man who just killed the man?
We don't see the knife though. At that point, we don't see the knife.
Bradley, let me explain to you what does the Constitution say about when I could use lethal force, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution says, Bahamas Constitution permits the use of lethal force only when it is reasonably justified under specific circumstances defined by the law. Here's a breakdown of the Constitution of the Bahamas, of what the Constitution of the Bahamas says. 1973, the Constitution of the Bahamas protects the right to life, but it also outlines exceptions where lethal force may be considered lawful. According to the Constitution, the right to life is not violated if a person dies due to the use of force that is reasonably justified and used to the extent and in the circumstance permitted by the law. Permitted circumstances for lethal force. Lethal force may be justified in the following situations. Do you know what is at the top of the list? The defense of any person from violence or defense of property from destruction. Effecting a lawful arrest of someone escaping lawful custody. Suppressing a riot, insurrection, or mutiny, or preventing the commission of a criminal offense by a person. These provisions align with international standards that require lethal force to be used only when absolutely necessary to confront an imminent threat of death. So Pookie here, Jack the Ripper, we could call him Jack the Ripper.
But was this police life in jeopardy?
Not at the point that he was aiming the weapon. No.
Right.
At the point.
But mind you, the
You
young
just
man
asked me a
seemed to
At the
have struck
point he
him.
reached for my gun, and that wasn't no punch.
What
At
else?
the point he reached for my pistol, what else? I want to shoot things with my pistol. What should I assume he want to do with my pistol?
The young man punched a police officer. He punched him in the face. Huh?
Okay.
He was trying to grab the gun?
And if you grab my gun, I suspect you trying to shoot things, and I don't know what you can shoot. It might be me.
He was trying to grab the weapon from the police? Let me see.
He grabbed the gun, Bradley.
Oh.
Which, in my view, puts me in fear for my life.
So as a result of him grabbing the gun went off, or the police?
Well, I don't want to speculate about why did the gun go off. I am assuming that officers are trained well enough, and they understand the marksmanship principles, and they understand that you do not point this weapon at anything you do not intend to destroy. So if he was pointing a loaded weapon with his foresight, rear sight, and eyesight aligned, and his finger on the trigger, I am of the view that he was ready to kill. My question would be, if you weren't ready to kill, then your finger shouldn't have been on the trigger. And if it wasn't on the trigger, then how did it go off? Those are things that they will deal with internally.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the use of force, the use of deadly force, this was almost an ideal situation for deadly force to be introduced.
Well, so, producer, you have some good eyes, because I didn't recognize. I've seen the video, but I didn't. I guess for some videos you got to really put them in slow motion so that you could grab everything or see exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he grabbed the gun, then I guess the police would then feel like his life is in some sort of a fear,
yes,
jeopardy. Yeah, because this guy is a rather big guy. The police are short on this fellow, and I think the only advantage.
And we done see Jack the Ripper
Let me see
at
something.
Wake.
All right, this is a tall guy. He has his chest on. Okay, so he's trying to grab the gun, right?
He has the weapon, yes.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he did grab it. Yes, he did reach for the weapon.
And at
All right, so
point,
this whole
my
video,
life is in fear.
this paints a different story now. Because if you try that in the United States, my brother, they're taking you out.
But again, there are several questions. The police officer was in there. Was he there? Don't tell me he was off duty. He's not allowed to be off duty. But he was in there, obviously with a service weapon. Fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Was he employed by the bar? Because that's a different scenario, and they would have to deal with that internally.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wasn't, if all he was a peace officer sitting in a public space and murder occurred, I think the Constitution covers him. So when I see people, could you put up the post that I sent you? When I see people saying silly things like this, I'm not exactly sure what they anticipate law enforcement officers should do in the instances where lethal force is introduced, right? And so I want to show them this. I want to show you this scatterbrain nonsense that I saw on social media today, and then I want to walk you through the use of force continuum. Do you have it? All right. So when the video was posted, someone made this comment. At close range, I think not. It could have been a warning shot. There is no such thing. So what is this? So that's being real. And only him have a weapon. So where is it called? So what? What? So what? Not English. If the police was trained correctly, it won't always end this way. Well, it looks like the police was executing perfect policing to me. It looks like the only thing he did wrong was not call for backup, which is one of the first things they teach you to do. And then it goes on to say, listen, man, Bahamians don't know how to handle conflict. Because somehow, as a Bahamian, if you move to America, you have now reached the Super Saiyan level of Bahamianship, and everybody should think that you are omniscient, and even though you live in as an immigrant in another country, somehow you are greater than. Yeah? So, the use of force continuum says this. The use of force continuum is a structured model that outlines escalating levels of force that law enforcement use depending on the behavior of the subject and the threat posed. It is designed to ensure that officers respond with minimum necessary force and adjust their actions as situations evolve. Well, what was the situation? Jack the Ripper was 6 foot and swinging a blade. We know that the force is lethal because there is a dead man. So, tall boy, we can call him that.
He tried to disarm the police officer.
Before we get to the disarming of the police officer, it was already justified for the police officer to have his weapon out, because tall boy out here swinging a machete, my friend.
That was inside the club.
Yes, you was watching.
But we don't see it outside.
So this escalated outside, at which point the officer is at the ready. And all I'm saying is...
Ready to arrest this man, right?
I don't think he pulled his gun like
Yeah,
in a gang fight. I think that was a
He-
part of the arrest.
Yeah.
Right. And so the only flaw in the policing is he didn't deputize. Do you know that in that instance, the law also gives him the ability to deputize people around him?
Yeah.
Hey, you with the funny looking shoes, 919. I say call 919. You don't move, Pookie. You under arrest.
911.
325. What the duty officer number is? 325. Send it to me so I can tell it to the people. So the use of force continuum goes on to say, level 1 is officer presence. No physical force, just the presence of a uniform or marked vehicle should be the first line of deterrence to crime. Number 2 is verbal
Check
commands.
the video I sent you. It's closer.
Clear, calm instructions to gain compliance. Level 3, soft control techniques, which I think you saw there when the officer do the little, I know if that's a part of the soft control techniques. And if you go into soft control techniques, your lethal force should be back in your holster, right? Number 4, hard control techniques. That's a little more than soft control.
Go again. Advance the frame.
Less lethal force, which is something that is not available to law enforcement in the Bahamas. Boom.
Freeze. Yes. Clearly, he grabbed.
But also, look at them coming down the stairs. The officer realizes that he has to neutralize the situation. So he's pushing them backward because he realizes that this situation isn't de-escalating. He needs to reach for lethal force. Because lethal force has already been introduced. And we know that Jack the Ripper here could swing a mean blade. We can't let him. Okay, where did he put the blade? Do you know? You know.
No, I don't know.
So there's a possibility.
So we know he doesn't have it on him now.
There's no guarantee of that. Jack the Ripper probably got this blade right in his pocket.
It could be
What are you
shirt.
gonna do? Wait till he yuck it back out and start swinging this thing like the kamikaze again? Absolutely not. So I need to distance myself from me and him, reach for my service weapon, and start handing out instructions.
Now the police officer has one hand out. What is it?
That's the hand he used to push the fella off so he could reach for his weapon.
But the fella's already against the wall.
No, look at this. You see this?
Yes, I see
All
that.
of that is in
but
the
now,
push.
why does he still have his hand out? Does he tell him, I want you to keep still?
Play
Or
the thing.
is he saying, hey, hold it, man, hold
Right.
it? Is he saying, hold it?
Hey, police!
Okay.
Now, watch as he zoom, as he goes. From right there, he has a kill shot. He ain't need to go closer than that.
But he don't have to shoot him.
But I suspect he wants to get on level ground because he also doesn't want to be on the staircase. That puts him at a disadvantage.
Okay.
So he comes down. Let's go.
Advance it. Pause.
Boom. That right there is too close. Because he ain't know what other Pookie could do. He don't know what none of these fellas could do. You see this boy in the stupid orange shirt behind him? He should have been calling the police. Hey, stupid looking orange shirt. Police now.
But he does have his phone in his hand.
He might have
But
been
we don't
texting
know-
these
yeah.
short fans. This is
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So level 6.
One more advancement.
Level 6.
Hold it.
None of these fellas could do. You see this boy?
Okay. So his hand is on the gun. All right. Now,
Level 6.
Now, in the law, his hand is on the gun. This man, no doubt, is trying to disarm this police officer. In the law, what should be this officer's response?
Does the gun in the hand of the perpetrator equate to lethal force?
I don't know. You tell me.
The gun is lethal force. In the hand of the perpetrator, does it become less lethal
Yeah,
force?
if he disarmed the police, he could kill the police.
Precisely. So why would I wait till I disarm?
So is this a situation where it's either I kill or be killed?
It may not have gotten to that because neither of them are dead. But what I am saying is...
Oh, the guy, he didn't die?
Well, as far as I'm aware, up to news time, he wasn't dead, eh?
Somebody-
Only one person died. The
Only one
person that was
person died?
stabbed, yes.
Oh, so this guy here was grazed.
I don't know how to classify. I never grazed nothing in my whole life,
Okay,
Bradley.
listen. I'm asking you a question. You're a police officer, right? Aren't you?
I'm an ex-Marine. Go ahead.
This man has his hand on this service weapon. In the law, what is the police response to this?
To use force. The question would become, what level of the force in the use of force continuum.
Now, can the police argue that the young man
That he
now
was afraid for his life?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's it.
Well, first of all, Jack the Ripper looked like he was 6'2". That in itself gives him an
he looks
unfair
kind of tall.
We didn't know he could kill because he has killed. And I didn't want to get killed next. Yeah, next thing you know, they changed my name from Leaving to Killjoy. And I don't want to name Killjoy.
All right, so our video, that paints a different picture altogether.
Yeah, but when I see some of the comments, man, like you have to at least educate yourself on what are the steps to be taken before you just start saying, the police, the police. Because you sound like a Neanderthal then. All right, let's go to the phone lines. 323.
7775 is the number to call, 698-0775, 698-0776. Producer, I send you a late birthday. We can do that about a minute before we close, I guess. The line's open, y'all. 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Levon and Spiritual. How y'all doing?
Good afternoon.
Fine with you. All right, let me extend, before I say anything about what y'all were just talking about, let me extend my condolences, please, to the family of the student, the St. Augustine's college student that passed away.
Yes.
Overseas, right? That's why I can only, Lord of mercy.
Yes,
one can only imagine what that family,
the pain,
the friends, and those who were on the trip with the student is going through. You know,
and of course,
especially to have died in such a way.
And of course, the St. Augustine's family as well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The family, the friends, and those who are also on the trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who would have had to live through that experience.
Yes.
Horrifying. That's a really, really horrifying thing to deal with. And so I pray the strength of God for the family, first and foremost, for the friends, and for those who are on the trip. And I pray that whatever the truth is regarding and surrounding the death of the young lady, that it is brought to bear.
Absolutely.
Right? That there's nothing withheld from the family.
Thank you for being
all
humane.
Information will come to the fore. Pardon me, Spiritual?
Thank you for being humane, Antoine.
Man, Spiritual, that's one of the darlings of our nation. What are you talking about?
It's deep. It's deep.
I'm a parent, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely. Absolutely.
I can only imagine what those parents are going through. You know, the student is excelling and representing the school and by extension the nation. And their child cannot come back in a manner that their child traveled to the country in.
Yes.
Boy. Mr. Miller.
Hey, buddy.
On this matter, what you're talking about, I'm familiar with the officer, right? And in all my experience and interaction with the officer, he's always demonstrated himself to be a true officer, courteous, professional, and a decent man and human being. And every interaction that I've had with him, I'm going way back to when Christie, former Prime Minister Christie, was on the campaign trails trying to form government in 2002, right? He's always been a gentleman and a decent person. I've always witnessed him with my own two eyes, giving people warnings to behave and conduct themselves in a manner becoming of decent human beings, right? But also letting them know that he is there as an officer of the law and he will uphold the law if necessary. I don't know the circumstances upon which this whole matter unfolded, right? And I want to offer condolences to the family of the young man who lost their life in that situation, right?
There were 3 people stabbed, correct?
Well, I don't know how many persons passed away.
Yeah, I see one. 20, none passed away, stabbed.
I'm listening to you, and I heard you say that at least one person passed away.
Yes.
Right? And so I want to offer my condolences to the family of the young man who passed away, because death has the sting like no other, right? And I can only imagine what that family is going through. However, on the flip side, I listened to you on Spiritual, right? And I saw one, possibly 2 of the clips from that incident, right? And if a police officer is involved in a direct situation, a hunt, they're on a hunt, right? The heated hunt. And they came to a point where they have to pull a weapon, right? And someone reaches for that weapon. It's almost as though you're asking to be shot. Because there's so many scenarios that could develop from that one situation, leave on the spiritual and the nation. What happened if the person who reached for the weapon actually disarmed the police?
Yeah, had gotten it, yeah.
What do you think would have happened?
Yeah, that's deep.
Or what happened if the person reaching for the weapon actually hit the weapon out of the police hand? What do you think would have happened?
Yeah.
That one officer would have been completely surrounded in a heated situation
with
where
no
other
gun.
persons were already harmed.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying these things to say, at the end of the day, we do have some terrible apples on the police force. I don't find this officer in particular involved in a situation to be one of those rotten apples on the police force. And I would hope that at the end of the day, although tensions are rising, persons would be able to put themselves in that officer's position.
Yeah,
and recognize.
Personally, Anton, I try not to have that position, and I'll tell you why. When things like this arise, I don't need like a character reference. The only thing I'm concerned about is the doctrine. What does the doctrine say? Because if he executed as per the doctrine, then Bravo Zulu chap, come to the Beagle and have yourself 2 or 3.
Right.
If you, and this is the reason why we train and then we retrain, right?
Right.
If what you have done is outside of the doctrine, then my friend, in the words of Senior Commander Burnright, you feel the wall to see which one is the hottest, and you turn your hind parts towards it.
All right.
You follow me? So whether he's a great guy, he could have been Police Constable Joe Snuffy, the slackest man in a pair of uniform. But if he executes the doctrine, then I say give him a commissioner's commendation.
Well,
similarly, he could have been the nutcracker.
Right.
But if he executed the doctrine poorly, then I say hang him.
Although Mr. Miller and spiritual and the nation, because the matter ended in the loss of life, right?
Right, yeah.
Whether it be at the hands of the private attacker or whether it be at the hands of the officer executing his duty, there is still loss of life, and that's a sad circumstance.
Yeah, indeed.
And also, at the end of the day, we have to recognize and respect that officers, when they're executing their duty, as the Minister of National Security always say, it is better for you to comply. It is better for you to comply and live to see another day than to respond aggressively towards an officer who has authority to carry arms in the country and find yourself at the end of a revolver or whatever ammunition the officer is carrying, and you cannot respond the next day. And so I hope that this serves as a warning. While the investigation takes place, this serves as a warning to others out there in the country. Officers have a duty to perform. Allow them to perform their duty.
Absolutely.
Use your phone if necessary. If you feel under threat or if you feel you're being treated incorrectly, use your device. Record the circumstance, but comply with what is being requested of you.
And be very cautious. And hold on, Anton. And be very cautious about reaching for that cell phone.
Yes.
Because if this situation already at a level 4, my friend.
Yes.
You might have a very shiny cell phone.
You're reaching for a weapon.
Yeah.
Yes. And so please, people, allow officers to do their job. And it's better to live to see another day than to find yourself at the end of a police revolver and dead and unable to give your
Thank you.
story.
Thank you so much, Anton.
Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
Yeah, appreciate
All right, let's see if we can squeeze one more in. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Good evening, Mr. Miller and Spiritual Advisor.
Yes, good evening.
Before I start, I would like to say, my condolences to the family of the young lady that was tragically in that accident.
Yeah.
I want to address this concern with the officer and the situation that you have on the show right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a former police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to quarterback this thing for you right now. So, in that altercation in the nightclub, you saw where the individual had a knife. He stabbed one of the fatally wounding. One of those officers was a prison officer. I come to know.
Right.
And that is tragic. Any payment people do not like any law enforcement agency, whether it be defense force, police force, prison. And let me get back to the video for you. In the video, you see that he is pointing his weapon at this individual. He is justified in every single way, because when you touch an officer, that is considered assault.
Correct. If you offer him the thought of a touch, that could be assault.
Yeah, call us back tomorrow, though.
No matter if he's no matter if they're in uniform or out of uniform.
We're running out of time, though.
You gotta call us back tomorrow. We're out of time.
Hey, the jingle means I out of time, not out of the show. Thank you for staying with us. This is Freedom March. I'm Leland Miller. We'll see you tomorrow.
If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back.